Hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we will discuss a movie, Tron 1982. So the movie is pretty old. It was in our list for forever, I guess. And the reason why it was in the list because it says that it's mm, kind of, you know, I forgot the word. Kind of, it made a genre. It was a new idea in the movie, so it's the beginning of new ideas. So we usually try to take such movies. Don't know if you enjoy it. At this moment, it's for this moment it's pretty simple, I would say. But at that time, so if we consider how people perceive computers 20, 40 years ago, it was different, right? So it was a pure magic, I think, pure black magic. So it probably was the first movie about hackers. So let's discuss it. Sergey, would you like to start?
Yeah, the movie about programmers, the movie about cyberpunk, and we could see free programmers who uh, wanted to fight with the bad programmers. And Flynn, the main characters, wrote the beautiful game for computers, but the bad programmers, Dillinger, stolen the game, and he got a lot of money and the new position as vice president of company. And Flynn was sad about it, and because he wanted the money for living. But the movie is not about ideas. The movie about money, I think.
Mhm. So at the beginning, we have a corporation, right? Evil corporation with many
And
employers. Yeah, Encom, right? It's name.
yeah,
I don't know what does mean Incom. I probably just a acronym. Kind of.
Income, something communications, maybe English communications.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah,
Let it be English or I don't know, electronic new communication, something.
yeah, something like that.
Okay, so it's a huge corporation. We can understand it, I guess, because of many like employers, many cubicles or something in their office, and the boss, the Dillinger, is very kind of I don't know how to describe posh and bossy guy. I would say, yeah.
I
And
don't know
it's
if you're I don't know if you're aware, but today we have a computer game company called Electronic
mhm,
Arts
right.
(EA), and they have bought up all their competitors. So they're just this huge conglomerate. They make horrible games that rip people off, but people still buy their games because they're the only one making games.
Right.
Evil
Right.
corporation. Yeah.
I heard, that I don't know, maybe one know. When you bought the EA games, you must buy additional opportunities every
Yeah.
day, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the main game and the additional games, the balls, etc., and the arms and the opportunity to game.
Mhm. They
And a
call it
lot of
usually
people hate EA.
yes, they call it usually additions or passcodes or something like this. But it's a mm, not a idea that applies only to games. You know, it's something new in IT software in general. So like a decade ago, you could buy a soft. You could buy Microsoft Word, and it will be yours. You can use it forever until now it's broken. Now you can lend a program for 1 year or another year. So it's subscriptions. So it's a totally broken system, but they need you to pay like constantly. You start to pay, it will never stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny. Now you pay I don't know $10 to Netflix, $10 to one corporation, another corporation, to Google, to Facebook, to everyone, to YouTube. So it's how to make it it makes a difference, right? So altogether you pay the fortune to them. Okay, but at that time it was different. At that time programs were, I think, even without copyright, you can steal something, and various software. Do you know various? I don't know if
Yeah,
English word or not. Something
yeah,
stolen.
yeah.
By once it's yours, but it doesn't work anymore. Nowadays it's so broken. So if Amazon Web Services, Amazon, it's a huge corporation. So if Amazon has a problem with network, vacuum cleaners all over the world cannot work because true, because they work only connected to the internet. We call it Internet of Things. It's a new world. I don't like it myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But let's go with the movie. So we have corporation, we have, and it started actually with what? With a scene inside the computer, if I remember. It starts from a fantastical scene. What's that? Do you remember how movies started?
Yes, there was a racing scene, I think. Some guards brought a guy inside inside their regime, I think. Then they made him to play um, games inside um, the computer. There were a lot of different games. I think they made him to play a racing game, a car race. It looked like I don't know the rules of the game. It looked like they have to make a maze or something like that. Mm, and
Actually,
they have
it's a very popular game. It's called it. It was a kind of a many games like this, but I remember from my youth. So it was a game that your car or your motorbike or something, it makes a tail, so it stays like permanent. You cannot destroy it. So you not only driving, you making like walls, and your opponent, they cannot cross the wall. They will be smashed off this wall. So it's at the same time a race and strategy. You making labyrinth and you you destroying them.
I think you're trying to trap the other guy inside a box.
Right.
So when you try to box him in, he's also trying to box you in. So you're trying to keep the guy from drawing a box around you.
Yeah. What's else? Maybe you're too young, but probably you played the game called Snake. It's a classic, right? So Snake, no, actually, you eat something, you eat some fruits, and Snake become longer and longer, and it's so long that it's hard to to move without eating own tail. So it's kind of the same.
Ah, okay.
It's a great game in my Nokia.
Yeah, it was very popular. So it's kind of old-fashioned game for us now, but maybe in 80s it was something, I guess, modern, pretty fancy, I guess. So this they started moving from this. Okay, and Wasans, could you continue? So it started from race game.
yes, and there were okay, wait on. So there was a guy. They brought a guy. I think he's a bank software. He said that he's from a banking field, and he couldn't play that game, but they made him to play some anyway.
Yeah, from the very beginning, it was so funny that they talking about users like about gods, right? So I'm a accounting software. My user will be very disappointing of your behavior if you make me to be a racer in your game. So funny. I don't know. Maybe people thought about computers in this way or something about programs.
Well, back then we thought about the computer being our servant. Now we're its servant.
Yeah, everything has changed. Yeah. Okay, so big corporation. So movie started from this episode about inside the computer, and then we found that one of programmers, one of coders, found that his access, what's the word for this? Abandoned it or something. So he doesn't have access to the system anymore, and there is dialogue between the boss and him, right? That we are doing some investigation, and from that moment we learn that the big automation system, it has kind of a conscious, right? So it's like a living thing. Actually, I was talking that from the very beginning of the movie, we learned that this program inside the computer, what was the name? I forgot about this big brother.
MCP,
MCP, yeah, probably. Master Code something.
control program.
Master, yeah,
Oh,
master.
yeah. MCP, yeah.
MCP, master. It seems that it is conscious. It has a, it's like it's almost living creature or something. From the very beginning, because it makes like orders to this boss guy and everything.
Kind of like Lord of the Rings, one program to rule them all.
Yeah, but I mean that it's not a program anymore. It's like artificial intelligence, right? Intelligence. It can.
Inside the computer, yeah, it's alive. It's cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed about your solution, Mr. Diligent. Gerard, would you like to continue?
Yes, this guy Alan Bradley created a program that can control Encom, and Encom doesn't like that. Also, there is this guy Flynn, who was a former programmer, and now is ruling a video arcade. How would you call it?
Arcade, yep.
Arcade with video games, and he tries to go inside the MCP because there is plagiarism of his video games by Dillinger. So he takes some friends that work inside the company, Encoms. And one is Bradley, and the other, the woman, Laura Baines. And they try to break into the computer, and by accident, when he was trying to enter into the computer, there is a laser device that disintegrates him and brings him inside the program.
Yeah, we actually forgot about that subplot. There is a kind of science lab or something inside this corporation with researchers. I don't know what's the name for it. They research some like lasers. It seems, because I guess in the movie they try to to pack all these topics, all these modern topics at that time, lasers, computers, everything in one place. So they research like ability to dismount object in real life and put it in, I don't know where actually, into computer reality, or what is this reality? It's hard to say.
Do you remember a moment that Dillinger had another associate, another one, and he told him that they created the company from a garage, like the creators of Apple.
Yeah, so he said, I wish I will back in my garage better than work for you. It will happen. You will go to your garage. You cannot change the program, my soul inside the program. So the dialogues is very kind of pathetic, I don't know, some kind of dramatic.
Another interesting thing is the table. You know the table? I think Microsoft invented a very similar table, with the screen. They invented something like this.
Yeah, you're talking about this kind of monitor table of a boss, right?
That was very modern at this time.
Wow, it's impossible to imagine even now. I cannot buy this, right? So it's not very common. Okay, so there is kind of two subplots. First one, it's a corporation, and this Flynn guy who is very upset because of plagiat, act of plagiat. I don't know, plagiarism, act of plagiarism, right? The diligent stole his code. And another subplot, there is a science lab where they try to move subjects from reality to virtual reality. And somehow Flynn went to us. I just recalled. So this program MCP, it started like a chess program. Do you remember this?
Mhm.
And Flynn went there and started to play chess. And I don't know why it was a kind of humiliation for MCP. And MCP pointed laser to him and get him to this virtual reality. It's very funny for nowadays, but I don't know. Looks funny. So what happened to Flynn in this virtual reality?
Not I wanted to tell about MCP and
Please?
MCP when they had conversation with diligent. MCP told him, I teach me 1,000 times when you created me, and I made a big way from chess program to MCP as an artificial intellect. Uh, it's a good point because now we are talking about artificial intellect everywhere. For example, yesterday President Putin told about artificial intellect, and he told about example from Terminator 2 when the machine will win us. What? What? I don't believe it, but it's a reality. And this movie, it's very. Um, they predicted the reality. They forecasted the reality.
Yeah. So they've seen these dangers way before us, right? 20 years ago.
Yeah, and Flynn went to the program because MCP transported him via this machine, and w- he was as players because this is a game, and MCP told him, you are the participant of our games and you have to play with different versus different players. And he started to play, and he started to discuss different players, and they told, do you believe in user? Oh, user. But I don't see the user, but my user is very clever. And uh, it was very interesting discussion because one accounting program told, I'm only accounting I'm not a gamer. Go to the game, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's interesting, like kind of mm, relationship between this piece of code, right? If they have some personalities, how they believe in the user. Do you believe in the users, Sergey? Yes, I do. Users, users are somewhere there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you never see them, right? You only see the results of their actions. So is there really a God up there? I can't, So it's a new look, yeah, a new idea.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's as a religion in our society. Do you see a God? Not, but I believe it. But why? But maybe on the sky we have a God.
Because
yeah,
something's making me move, so something must exist.
I remember a dialogue when Flynn uh, tried to convince someone that he's a user, and they said, "If you are a user, you should have plan. All users have a plan, and you." So they know something about users, right?
Yeah,
Well, they're all knowing, they're all powerful. If you're a user, why are you here with me?
Yeah, it's fine. But before we go forward, let's speak a bit about artificial intelligence. So, do you agree that with Sergey and President Putin that artificial intelligence is our threat, like of future of this moment? Vasans, what do you think? Is artificial intelligence are we in danger because of it?
No, I think artificial intelligence is essential as of now because uh, as the population grow mm, higher, go higher, we need more data to store, and we already have a bunch of data. So I think we need to let the computers handle all the data, and it comforts the human kind on one hand. On the other hand, even though it affects the privacy, it helps on the other hand. So maybe we cannot avoid that.
I see. So it's not a threat; it's just a tool, right?
Yeah.
I see. Sergey, what do you think? Is it?
Yeah. In addition, we have free laws for robotic techniques, and
Three
I
laws,
think
yeah.
free laws, and I think that free laws for artificial intelligence are similar.
Actually, it's a very common question. People who program, I don't know, programs for self-driving cars. So recently, I met one guy from corporation Yandex who made this guy and who made these cars, programs them. And I asked him. So people probably often ask you about this dilemma. Who have to be killed by the car. He said, no, we don't program this. It's impossible. We don't have three laws or something. We don't program it. It's kind of every time it will be a new solution from AI, but we don't make rules that you have to kill one guy and let another live. So it's complicated question. But speaking of AI, I I I hear about powerful AI for I don't know for 40 years at least. So next year we will have it. Next year we will have it. We still have a very primitive artificial intelligence, very primitive. So it's good in a very small and narrow tasks. So if you want to sort tomatoes, in in a farm, artificial intelligence is the best. It's fast. It's without mistakes. It's good very well. But if you want something complex, it seems to be impossible for me. For instance, a simple task to distinguish animal, a cat and a dog. Any baby can do it without any problem, but we don't have still artificial intelligence who can do this efficiently.
Yeah, the rich corporations have some high level of AI, like IBM's Blue or whatever they call it, that can play chess and beat chess masters. But that's not to me true AI yet. I have not seen true AI yet. They call Alexa, an AI. Bah, she's an idiot. She can't even answer a simple question sometimes. But if you understand that true AI can write its own programs and learn by itself and they can think 1 million thoughts in the time that we think one thought. If you think about the power of AI, if it's ever allowed to make independent autonomous decisions, it could decide in a millisecond that we are wasteful creatures. The Internet of Things could make everything stop and we'd be helpless. I mean, the problem is we've got to limit what we give control to. If we let AIs control our cars, okay, maybe they're limited damage potential. But if we give them control of our military, of our drones, of robot soldiers, my God, it could turn against us in a heartbeat and we'd be helpless.
Yeah, and problem is that it's
Yeah.
happening. It's happening nowadays. And if I understand correctly, what are the what they're talking about? They're talking about that people are too slow to control military techniques. People are slow. It's impossible anymore. In modern life, no man can control a tank because it's too slow. So it's for artificial intelligence, but still it's a narrow task, right? To shoot something. I don't know.
Well, it's like, have you seen these demonstrations where there's like 10,000 drones and
Yep.
people program them? You showed me, I think,
Yeah.
Ivan.
Yeah.
They you got 10,000 little drones, and they fly in the air and they make pictures and they write words in the air. And imagine if you program those things with a small explosive to just fly down into the Capitol building and blow up. I mean, the potential for this stuff is horrible. I mean, anonymous destruction on a huge scale. I think in Iran, aren't they programming drones to attack drones because the drones are coming in and blowing up oil installations? So they got to have drone armies to fight the drone armies. It's like, this is incredible.
Uh, well, yes, hard to argue with this, but I think it's just another tool, for a guy with a sword, someone with a gun probably have the same feeling, but it's just another tool, right? So people adapt to everything. Maybe these drone attacks will be just a routine, for our military. So
Yeah.
what are you doing? What are you doing? I am a soldier. I am a sergeant in drone army. I work from home. I attack Iran this week.
Yeah. I control from my desktop, I control the drone fleet, of naval ships, and I can direct them to attack any point on the earth, and
Something
they
like
obey
this.
without question. Yeah.
I don't have to live in desert for this anymore. Sergey, please.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I analyzed the conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia in Nagorno-Karabakh, and we saw a lot of example when Azerbaijan army used the drones instead of real tanks. But Armenian army used traditional tanks with the people, and we could saw the in on time in the reality now the blow, and we can see now this is blow using the drone. And I I like the example when the veteran of the war sit at home and control panel and this is drone.
So,
Yes, I am veteran.
yeah, Sergey is referring to a local story. Probably you haven't heard of it, but we have a small war close to Russia between two ex-USSR countries, and nowadays wars are broadcasted to YouTube, of course. So, and this this war was broadcasted from the tanks from one side and from the drones from another side. And it seems that from the drones, picture is better. So at this time. But it's interesting. But when Russian army commented this conflict, what they say? They say the drone is kind of fancy weapon, and people tend to like the videos with drones and all the things. But Russian army says that it's not that effective. That's the only reason why it's effective at that war, because both countries are very small and have very few opportunities to for fighting. So that was they were helpless. For serious army, it's impossible to use drones yet in this year, maybe next year. Yeah.
I can see a future where it's like the 10,000 drones. You give them a single command, like destroy this target, and they work together with each other to, outflank the target or whatever. You just give them a single command, destroy this target, and they take care of all the rest. But using AI and interconnections and working together, and so it could come to a point where you could say, Ivan, I need you to go fight a war for me. I'm going to give you 5 fleets of drones, and here's a laptop. Sit in this room and go fight this war.
Yep.
Can you imagine something like that where you can assign one person to go fight a war for you with a robotic fleet or army? It's
Well,
unbelievable, and you could do it.
yeah, probably it's our future. But I also believe that maybe we can use these drones for something else, for delivering food, let's say, or I don't know, for researching something.
We've tried using robots for deliveries. I don't know if you read about it, but in California, we had robots that would go down the sidewalk and deliver things, and people hated them because people were walking on the sidewalks. and people had to move aside for these robots on the sidewalks. So people said, "Get rid of this robot delivery." You know, it's annoying, and they had to stop.
In Moscow, we had these robots, delivery robots, for short time. So what happened after? Two reasons. First of all, migrants are cheaper than robots, and second reason that many people tried to ride these robots. So people use these robots like horses, you know, just for fun. So
Oh man.
yeah, and corporation decided to hire migrants for this.
Wow.
You cannot ride migrants.
Yeah, you cannot, because it's a human being, right? Okay, so let's go back to the movie. Okay, so what was his name? Flynn is inside. He's making friends from our programs, I guess, and he's, what's the word for this? He's understanding, he's learning the situation, right? And what happened? They made an escape, right? From, I don't know, from the battle zone, how to call it. Vasans, would you like to continue? What happened?
Yes, they were sent to the field where they can play the bike racing game, the maze game. This time, three of them were playing, opponent to another team of three. Um, so during that game, they decided to, they managed to beat that team, and also they managed to escape from that field um, by going fast. Then the MCP could not monitor them because they went far away from that field. So he sent the drones and all the security guards to uh, bring them back. But these three people decided to escape, and they ran away as much as they could. Uh, Finally, they found a pond. I think it sort of a pond where they drank a lot of water from there. I think it gave them some energy. Then one of them went missing, and the other two uh, went on board of some sort of drone, I think. Then um, they went there to
So
disable the MCP.
yeah, and they meet like their friends Alan and this lady, right? And they escape. Well, actually, this part of the movie is pretty strange to me. I don't know how what is your impression, but for me, it's something. Probably I don't understand this well, but they just, my impression that they're just trying to be fancy, just trying to show us some pictures to impress us. I think so. Gerard, what do you think about this adventures inside the computer?
There is a lot of there is an abuse of using infographics
Yeah.
because at this time it was a big deal. I think it's the first movie like with such an amount of infographics. So it's a little bit boring and
Yeah.
redundant. I don't know. It's a waste of time.
Yep. So they try to make picture and a bit forgot about the plot, I would say. Yeah. So what happened, Gerard? What happened there? Did they defeat this master control program? Do we have a happy
Yes,
end?
because this Flynn has more power when he's inside this wall. He can change and even he can rebuild a spaceship,
Mhm.
and they go to the center of the system where the MCP has his brain and his CPU,
Mhm.
and
To the core.
they manage to destroy him
Yeah.
and liberate and get free all the programs that are controlled by the MCP and rebuild the wall.
Mhm.
So no more, control, authoritarian dictatorship of the MCP.
No, No more Big Brother, right? So,
No more Skynet.
no more Skynet, yeah. And what happened to this bossy guy, Diligent, or some? How was?
I
his name?
think the no. Well, I think Flynn's get the control of the company
Yeah,
because
somehow, I
he
don't.
appears with an helicopter and his friends are with him. So happy end.
Yeah, so yeah, I would say there is not too much to discuss. I don't think we should follow all these small stupid things in these pictures because it was just for picture, in my opinion. I don't know. You can have another opinion. Wasans, please.
Yes, they didn't show much in the end. He just took a printout or something, and I don't know how would it suffice the claim of the ownership of in the program. So,
Yeah, it's a good question actually. It's a good question. So do you know the answer, Sergey? How nowadays we can prove that it's my program, not your program?
I think that we have the electronic science. For example, in our company, we use the electronic science and spatial code. I don't know, but I'm not programmer. But I think that we have the copyright everywhere, and each startups registrate their program products.
Mhm.
I think that we have the special patent
Patent.
patents
Mhm.
bureau jury. I don't know.
Yep. So yes, more or less in the whole the world, it's all the same. So if you want to protect your code, your text, something, you just go to a special place. You present this code. You present I don't know something. Yes, and they register. I don't know, register this as intellectual property of yours. So that's your proof. Sometimes, in a very bad case, when it comes to the court. So there are two people, both of them not patented the program, and both of them saying that I am the author. So what the court usually do? Court usually ask for drafts. If you are the author, no program made just from one iteration. You have to improve it like step by step. So show us your steps. So show us your drafts. If you have them, maybe court will decide in your favor. If you don't have them, I don't know. It's up to the court how what to do. So it's a yes, team based. Yes, who was first? So it's always a hard solution. But in the movie, what they did, they just wrote a message. So this code was stolen. Enough. Your corporation now is mine. Sergey?
If I understand you correctly, we special courts for IT arguments, RT
It's
argument, or
it's
it's a usual court.
it's a usual court. So you will
Usual court accepted the experts from IT
yeah,
industry
yeah,
for
yeah,
taking their opinions.
yeah. A judge in general should not be an expert in everything. A judge can, hire or make an order for experts to to make facts to resolve the situation. So we have them. So there is no special IT court. It's
Nope.
just a common
Yep.
court.
In the
But
U.S., the jury are just ordinary people like you and me. We pick them by lottery. We stick them on the court. Some of them are probably idiots. Some of them probably didn't even graduate from high school. The judge is just a manager, and the lawyers don't know anything. So it's just the lawyers call experts, and you either believe the experts or you don't. And the experts contradict each other. So the poor jury has no clue what's going on.
And experts usually contradict each other because they are asked very stupid questions. I was an expert for a few times, and every time court asked me such stupid questions that I just can't imagine what to answer. So they ask me something impossible. And and I have to write something, and I have to make my signature, and probably someone will go to the jail because of this. But I don't know what to write. So
Oh.
so I'm trying to make my answer unclear. So I'm just trying. I'm so in 3 words I don't know, but I put in 10 pages. Usually it's like that. They ask different things. Yeah, really. They ask, for instance, the last question from this government request. It was something like, um, what kind of IP address this computer had in 2 years ago. So they asked me like an expert. How can I answer? I don't know. just an example of stupidity.
Yeah.
Okay, and I saw and I heard about the big courts and big argue between the huge company Apple and Samsung about
Yes,
something,
yes.
and they have the similar decision for the smartphone. And I think that if you have the big amount of lawyers, you could win maybe.
Yeah, if you have a lot of lawyers, you could win or you can prolong this forever. Money can win
Money can win, yeah. Yeah.
everywhere. I guess in whatever country, money can win. So or prolong it just for forever. Oracle and I forgot the other corporation, Google. They sue each other like for decades, and it's still unresolved because there are enough lawyers from both sides. My lawyers.
Yeah. That's our legal system.
We have the same, more or less. So, Vova, do you understand who is a lawyer? Who is a lawyer? You're muted, Vova. Who is a lawyer? It's from a word law. Law. So, lawyer it's a man or someone who goes with you to a court, to a tribunal, to a judge, to resolve your case, who help you with laws. Do you understand? A lawyer.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so the situation is resolved, and Flynn is a director now. So, and it makes me wonder: do you think he wanted to be a director or a boss of corporation?
It's a strange situation when the technical guy will be as a director. He's not a manager. He's a technical guy. It's all.
Yes, you're talking about skills, right? So it's a different skills to be a good coder and to be a good manager. It's a different set of skills, different set of knowledge.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. And most of I don't know, maybe as a manager you have another point of view, but as a tech guy, what I think about managers, what I heard about managers. So all the tech guys, they just hate managers, right?
Absolutely, because they have different paradigm.
Different mindset, yes, different paradigm, different modus operandi. Yes, it's so different. Gerard?
I think usually head managers are not engineers. That's not usual.
Yeah,
That's the problem sometimes.
What's happened in America, and I don't really like this, but in the old days, inside a company, you started at the bottom, you learned stuff, you got promoted, you learned more stuff, you got promoted, you learned more stuff. And when you got up to the top, you knew everything. You were a knowledgeable manager that knew the company, knew its processes, knew its products. But now we don't do that anymore. Now you can get up to a certain level and that's it. Management, they go outside the company to hire a manager because they want someone who can bring in new networking contacts, new cronies from other businesses to steal knowledge from other businesses. So now managers are all brought in from outside. You can't work your way up anymore. That's why there's no loyalty anymore.
And besides, these managers has a golden parachute. So you want to fire them, you have to pay them a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, they're worth $60 million. My butt,
I can feel we all like managers. We all like managers. Yeah. I have a lot of problem with this as well. So many managers they have skills. They have authority in their field, But when that comes to tech, it's always usually a catastrophe. So you have to manage it somehow. Yeah, MBA. I stay away from ABA managers like two blocks away. If you show your MBA, I say okay, go away.
Ivan, I want to have the MBA program and MBA degree.
Yeah,
It's my
they're-
dream.
yeah, somewhere back in maybe 1980 or something, the MBA degree became like it went viral. Like everybody's going after MBA degrees, like it's gonna solve the world's problems, And it's like today, it's like, you never hear it anymore.
Now you can get distance MBA something. Just pay. You will get it in 2 years. So.
Yeah,
But you have to pay a lot. Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, yes, different sets. So, but speaking of this Flynn and about the movie, the word hacker, it's a pretty old word and it changed its meaning a few times. So, what is hacker nowadays? Whoa, what is a hacker? Do you know? Who is a hacker? Yeah.
Who do virus?
Who do viruses or bad things to computer networks and everything? Who breaks security? Yeah. What?
I remember the movie Live Free or Die Hard.
What movie?
Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah, Die Hard.
Die Hard. Okay. And there were hackers, right?
Yes.
They broke computer systems. Very good, very good. Yes, it's hackers in modern meaning. But back in 80s, what does mean hackers? Hacker was a knowledgeable, free engineer in computer science. Someone who is kind of not in the how we call it, chain of command. Someone who feels free. I am a knowledgeable. You need me. I don't need you. So I will do whatever I want, and you managers will do what you want. Something like this. So it was another meaning. So hackers were just experienced programmer, but then it changed. So and there was like a movement of hackers. I still remember that. There are Richard Stallman, many guys like him. They created this movement, and it means they were against mainstream. They said that programs must be free, and you should have an opportunity to copy the program because it's like essential right. It's like free speech or something like this. It was a huge movement. Nowadays, it's obsolete. Now we on subscription system. We should pay. So and Flynn, he strikes me like that person. So when I see that Flynn got this corporation as a director, it's something flame and water, I guess, fire and water, something different.
Today we have open source, but to me that's never really taken off. Linux was supposed to be the free Microsoft. Anybody can get it for free and have an operating system. But Linux itself developed so many flavors that I couldn't even keep track. I tried to install it one time and I got so confused I just gave up. It had too many separate pieces you had to assemble together or something.
Yeah. Nowadays, IT is so broad for so many fields that it's hard to compare. For instance, Linux or Linux, it's two different pronunciation. It's actually won the game on servers. It's very rare to see Microsoft something on servers. It's impossible. So the huge data centers like Amazon or something, they work on Linux. But in like a household, Windows is very popular. So in offices, if managers work with it, so it's very popular. Yeah, so it's a different fields, different demands and opportunities. Okay, so I have not opened my Padlet to see if you have any questions. Okay, we have a few. First one. Would the master control program have conquered the real world? Do you remember? It has such invention. Sergey, please, I have not watched.
Yeah, and I want to continue it about hackers, and I don't know why hackers made something not for money, for showing their skills. For example, yesterday in Russia we have the problem with the big company of Postomat, the post office company, and the hackers opened 25% of Postomats everywhere in
Okay,
Russia.
Sergey, let me add some context because for people it can be confusing. So, do you know, guys, what is a postomat or it's a Russian thing? So let me tell you. So, if you we live in a building blocks in apartments, right, in Russia in general. So we live in apartments. So if you buy something online, like in Amazon, you don't want to wait uh, for delivery, you just say, please deliver to my postomat. It's like a post office. So they deliver there, and you have in your SMS to code your code to take it. So it's close to your house, but you don't have to wait for delivery. It's very convenient. And we have a lot of these boxes, the security boxes, like everywhere. So you can say, deliver it there, it's near to my house, or deliver it there, it's near to my office. So it's just convenient for us. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a very like common thing there. So yesterday, some hackers group broke the security of these postmats, and all the doors were opened without code. So all the doors in the everywhere. So just go there and take this phone or computer or I don't know everything what
Yeah.
was delivered. So it wasn't made for money. It was just I don't know to show you that we can do this. You know, it's a new.
Why they do it?
Some people are just malicious. They just want to tear down the system. They want anarchy. I mean, some people are just mean. They really are evil. They just want to make trouble.
Teacher, you wrote it's a strange concept to you, but let me show you an example. You know, sometimes when I travel, I just send my things somewhere where I will be in few months, and then I go there and take them from this post box. You know, so it's just a way for me to
Yeah,
not to have.
I understand it, but we don't have that in America. So to me, that's a strange concept.
Why? It's
Yeah, it's very common.
convenient, I think.
No, very convenient. Yeah. So you don't have, when you order food, for instance, you don't have to wait for it. You just go there and take it. Yeah, sure.
I've seen videos where the Amazon deliver gives the parcel next to the door and goes away without anybody taking the
Yeah.
parcel. That's very easy for the burglars to steal.
And we have that problem. People steal packages.
Well, we solve this problem with a code and security box. So only you
Yeah.
can take it because you have a code from there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good idea. I just can't imagine how you could manage it.
You see, we manage this bad. Some hackers.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Sergey, not every safety box was open. Only one company was broken. There are
Yes,
a lot.
one company, 25% of boxes of one company. I agree.
Yeah. So there are many companies like this. So it's not like in Die Hard. Yes, Jared?
In Spain, we have something like this, but it's a place with people, like a shop, and the shop is in charge of some operator, and then you can go there. You can ask Amazon, for instance, to deliver your parcel, and that's very convenient. I do that always. I can.
Yeah. I understand.
Now, what we can do, if I know you're going to be at a hotel at a certain time, I can send it to the hotel with attention to you, and the hotel will get it, and they'll deliver it to your room. We have that, but we don't have a separate thing, like you're talking about. So
Yep. But I think it will be everywhere in the world. So it's very very convenient. Just need some time.
sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, so hacker, Sergey, why they do that? I don't know. Many reasons. We don't see this. Maybe they, sometimes hackers are blackmailing corporations. So they say, do you remember this case when we open all your boxes? We can do that on next week and on the next week again and again.
Yeah,
So we just
yeah,
show you your opportunity.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah, I understand.
So it's kind of subscription service again,
Yep. Yep.
just an idea. I don't know for sure, but there are many ways.
Yep.
Okay.
Pay us money every month to not hack you. Yeah, protection money like the mob.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the question. So, would the master control program have conquered, right? Usually
Conquer.
conquer the real world. Conquer the real world. Sergey, what do you think? Master control
I
program.
think, to be honest, I think it's real. If the master control program are the artificial intellect, and the artificial intellect teach himself itself permanently, and MCP could have the biohacking, and MCP will start to understand the people, how people live, what people wanted. And sometimes the MCP sends the email for one people. Do you want the money? For example, yes, okay, please make it. And in several years, the MCP will start to manage some people, and it will be communication corporation between MCP and people will not be a leader. MCP we will be leader, but it's possible because the people has a bad habits.
So such a powerful program can control people easily.
Can you imagine an AI that can send emails, simulate people's voices, and communicate by phone call or email? You would never know that you weren't getting orders from a machine.
Yeah. But I think even if do you remember how it was in Die Hard 3, right? So do you have a bank deposit? Pooh, I don't think so. You don't have it. Do you have some money on your bank account? Pooh, I don't think so. You don't have it. So now go there and do what I say, and maybe then you will get your passport back.
Yeah. Scary to me.
And
And
actually, we are going to this point. It's very dangerous point. I can see in Russia we don't have a. We are going not to have paper documents anymore. Everything is electronic. Everything. So if someone deletes this by mistake or by hacker attack or something, how will you prove that you is you and you have some deposit? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a fan of cryptocurrency. Gerard.
There's a very nice movie about AI called Her, starred by Joaquin Phoenix, where the AI is a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she adapts, to the personality. So it's like very the user only can hear her,
Mhm.
but she's very lovely, everything, and he falls in love. He fell in love. It's a very nice movie.
I don't know if you remember the movie The Lawnmower Man.
Yes. But Chris
Oh.
Brosnan.
At the end of The Lawnmower Man, he actually goes inside the computer, spreads to all the computers of the world, and at the end of the movie, it's really eerie. I think he tells them when I've succeeded, I'm going to ring every telephone in the world or something. So at the end of the movie, they think they've defeated him, and suddenly the phone rings, and then another phone rings, and then another phone rings, and pretty soon all the phones in the world are ringing, and it's like this guy's taken over the entire world's computer network. Scary.
Well, it's you actually said what I always think. I think that not artificial intelligence is the thing that dangerous. What is dangerous? It's our what's the name of it? How we rely on technology. It's our dependence
Yeah.
of technology. We depend more and more and more. In one day, without your phone, you cannot go away from your house. You cannot go to the metro, to the I don't know, to the bus. You cannot buy food, and because we lost this skill. That's
Yeah.
you know, for instance, in Moscow, sometimes I feel like I live in the future. So I have never seen cash money for I don't know how long. So you and now in metro we pay by our face. So I don't pay, I don't touch anything. I just
Wow.
go there and and it just
Wow.
it just pay it. Yeah. So it's very different. So
To my knowledge, we don't have that yet. I've never heard of us paying by facial
yeah,
recognition.
China has it and
Wow.
we have it. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's convenient. You don't have
Yeah.
to have free hands, but
Yeah.
it's scary if you think about it. It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Beep. Unrecognizable face.
Go away.
Beep. Sorry, you don't exist in my database.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do? You know?
Sergey?
Yes, and I agree, and I'm afraid this time because I don't understand the new reality as a Ivan, because I am an old school engineer, and I wanted to MBA, and I like the cash because I'm afraid that somebody steal my money, and now I'm afraid to see to watch something because. We have the special artificial intelligence who change the faces. And for example, sometimes you could see you or your girlfriend in the bad
Yeah.
video, and
Fake video.
you don't know it's a real video or not. It's a very, very bad situation,
Yeah.
and the situation would create the blackmail wave.
Yes, Sergey. You're right. Nowadays, exactly in this point, we cannot trust anymore. Not voice, not our eyes. We cannot trust images. We cannot trust voices. It's all can be fake. So only the many experts can say is it fake or no. But for ordinary citizens, it's train is gone. Yeah. I'm sorry, Vasant, please.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, we conducted a camp of updating the biometrics and all the name corrections in our social security number sort of thing, the card we all have. So it records only the thumb, the finger impressions and uh, the eye retina. So those two are the mandatory fields, but I have seen a couple of candidates in a single day who could not be recognized by their thumb because of their old age, and their retinas were I think they are too old to capture. So the system didn't recognize them. So we could not enroll them in that system. So I was worried, and I'm still worrying that what else can we do to identify people. This recognition cannot be made because due to the old age, it can be changed. The wrinkles, all the thing, and the somebody who looks like them can easily fake the system. It's just the dots connecting the dots, so it's easily fakeable.
Yeah,
So
understand.
it's
Yeah.
really yeah.
And another thing about how we call it usually biometrics. Is it correct? Biometric.
Yep.
Another
Yep.
thing about biometrics that you cannot change it, and it's a huge problem. If someone stole your biometrics data once, it's forever. You cannot change it like a password. If someone can fake your, I don't know, fingerprint, that's done.
Finger. Yeah.
Fingerprint. Yes, that's done. That's forever. You will suffer for that to the end of your life.
Yeah.
Gerard, please.
I was wondering, these smart Ruiz watches, if the company that we are connected to could, register all the data and know what we are doing.
Yes.
With the intelligent prompt, could do that. It could be control what activity we are doing. Well, I am in the toilet, I'm cooking, I'm sitting in front of my desk,
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
Maybe in the future they will do that. We'll do that. Not necessary to inject nano robots
Yeah.
in our.
Modern networks, modern artificial networks, they can recognize your activity with very precision way. So they know you are sleeping. They know you are exercising or something. Yeah. Teacher Lee?
We talk about biometrics. We have a lot of ways in nuclear plants. We use our palm, and we
Mhm.
put our palm on a palm reader, basically. And sometimes if you don't put your hand right, it won't read your palm print, and you got to go redo it. You know, it's like, it's a pain in the butt. Iris scans, you know, some machines you can look in your iris and it'll look at your retina blood vessel pattern, you know, that's pretty hard to duplicate. But that's, you know, one time a bank near us opened up a facial recognition thing. So you could just walk up to it and it would recognize your face and unlock your social security box.
Yep.
And after a few weeks, it went away because it wasn't reliable. You know.
Well, we
But-
have a huge bank in Russia, Sberbank it's called. It's a very huge one. And it started the authentication by face on this year. So you don't have to have any document. Just go there, they will give you your money, you know, because you
Wow.
is you.
Wow.
Scary. Guys, I really want to make some slides because we have some very good one. Thank you, Vasans, as always. And I just seen a few of them, and I think we should make them.
Good font. That's a print. We call that printed circuit board.
Circuit board, yeah.
Printed circuit board, PCB. Yeah.
We make electro schemes. How we call it on this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's somehow, I don't know how they do it, but it's fantastic.
Okay, let's start. Vova, could you please start with this and unmute, please?
He is fleeing. He wants to check some program. I see in background the number of car.
Plate, right? 81 or 4, probably from a car. This black plate or something. Usually, does it looks like a car?
Where are you looking?
Behind him, there is a 2 white cups and plate.
Yeah, it looks like a license plate. Looks like British. It's not American. Maybe a foreign license plate.
Maybe no, maybe it's significant. I don't know. Maybe it's significant to plot something.
I don't know. It might be. I don't recognize it. Yeah.
Well, anything else?
I see a lot of pictures.
Yeah, on the wall, right? It's. I actually can't say it's pictures. It's kind of diagrams or kind of schemes or something. Some materials. What do you think about his monitor, Vova? With this box? This box is a monitor. Have you seen such a monitor in your life?
No, I don't.
No, very, very, very good.
Made in Russia.
Made in Russia. And he's wearing what he's wearing? Pajamas? How we call it? Or
Looks like Japanese kimono.
kimono. Okay, very good. And some books behind. How we call it? White books or with book with many pages? How would we say? It's a. I mean, behind him we can see some books, and obviously they have like 1,000 pages. So is it a wide book or just big book?
You can, a large book. Sometimes we call a tome.
A tome.
It's just a huge book with gobs of information in it.
Yeah. When I was a computer science student, we have books like 5 tomes or something. It was usually like 10 kilograms book, something like this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go forward. Gerard, would you like to describe this one? There were some names for these things, I remember, in the movie.
I can't remember.
The spaceship. Two legs. And there is a tank.
Yeah, it's a tank, yeah.
In a space like, a chest board. But all the squares are the same color. And I think, I don't remember who was in the tank of the protagonist.
I'm not sure. Probably not. Probably just
No.
just a game.
Just a game. Okay. There's no
Vasant, do you
mention.
remember the name for these floating things? There was some name, destroyers or something. I forgot.
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
Can't remember.
Okay, not much here. So let's go there. Gerard, could you please continue with this one?
Okay, this is a table that it's like one the Microsoft built.
Hmm.
Dillinger's table, and he controls the computer from here. And it's curious that the AI, the MCP talks at the same time. It appears what he's saying in writing, written
Yeah.
on the screen.
So this is the smartest AI in the yours and on the yours, and he can speak, he can do everything, but you have to write commands to it. You cannot speak.
But
Yeah.
Ivan, at this time, many people thought that computers were able to talk like an AI.
Mhm. Yeah, and you can see income on the right side and some bars, probably some, I don't know, bars to adjust something, I don't know, to
Oh,
adjust
okay.
temperature in your in your cabinets.
Yeah.
Okay, a few chairs, a few tables, not much, right?
How do you call this sort of chairs, Teacher Lee?
We just call them office chairs,
Mhm.
rolling chairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Notice that these have 5 legs.
mhm.
We used to have 4 legs on these office chairs, but people would put their legs up on the desk, and if the 2 legs were like this, you could fall backwards.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And so now we have 5 legs on chairs. So now you can't fall backwards.
I think you can call swivel head. Swivel.
The swivel,
Yeah.
yep, swivel
Swivel.
chairs, yep.
Swivel.
Mhm.
Yep, swivel chairs or swivel office chairs.
Well, I think it's a good table. It's a good monitor. It looks fancy, but you cannot put something on your table, right? You cannot put a cup of tea there.
You got to be careful, yeah.
It's very expensive.
Very expensive.
Microsoft Office about maybe 20, 30 years ago came out with this idea. They called it surface technology. And the idea was you could take anything and put it down on the surface of the desk, and everything, like Internet of Things, everything would have a chip in it. So it would just from laying that on the desk, it would read that chip, know what it was, bring up what it was, where you can buy it, what it costs, every detail about that thing, just from instantaneously putting it on the surface.
Yes.
And they imagined that when you sat in a restaurant, the whole table would be a menu, and you just touch it and order from the menu right there on the table. It never happened.
Vova, please.
I can see a big white sofa.
Sofa, yeah, on the left, right? Big lights, white
Sofa.
sofa, right? Or
Yeah.
white or white.
Wow.
And it has two, like, I don't know how we call it, tables, right? Sofa tables, I don't know, coffee tables.
I guess. I don't know what they are.
Just
Usually
kidding.
it's one big rectangle, but these 2 little ones, I don't know what that is.
Okay. Wow. Look at this.
We would call that Cubicle City.
Yeah, because Vasant, would you like to describe this?
Yes, this is the workplace of Dillinger's office, and I think this is Alan, and he was having some popcorn while he was working on his computer, and he was called by Dillinger, I think. So he was leaving there, and his colleague asked him that he could get some popcorn, I think. Mm, and you can see a lot of personal photos and stick notes on the wall, and a globe Is that a globe? I think on the
Yep.
left corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Globe. Yep.
Some gift box and
Books.
diaries. Yeah.
Binders.
So, what else? What
And
do you think? Would you like to work on a place like this? In a place like this?
mm, I don't know. No, maybe it might give visually private environment, but you would still hear the typing noise.
Yeah.
I would never work in that place. You know.
Okay.
You know, in my company, Westinghouse, we used to have these,
Mhm.
and then they decided that this was too isolated and you couldn't, talk to your buddies and socialize and learn from interactions. So
Yeah.
they made the walls down real low, so the whole top is open. So now you can hear noise all in the whole room. So
Yeah.
then they went back to tall walls again.
What sounds, please?
Yes, and I read that you should take a break every 20 minutes and you should look at any object which is 20 feet away from you. You know, so it would help your eye focus and it would
Mhm.
the health of your eyesight. But in such environment, you would never see more
Well,
than
but
anything more than 2 feet. You know?
but I know whom to blame for such a working place. MBI managers. Am I right, Sergey? So these cubicles are invented by such managers because they're cheaper. They are, I don't know, what are the reasons? Sergey? This office, they're cheaper, right, than cabinets.
The cheaper and but it's this office looks not our classical office in my country because in my headquarters in Moscow we have the open space, but we can see a lot of people on the one table, but the table is divided special
Yeah.
walls, but it's not this not looks like this. This is the American classical office from the 15th, 20th century. I imagine this American office like
Yeah.
this.
So you like it, right? You like it or
Not,
don't?
not. I
Oh,
don't like.
okay.
Now,
Vovo, please.
what
I'm sorry. 1 second. Vovo, please.
I remember that his friend say, uh, could I borrow some popcorn?
Yeah, it was in the movie. Yeah. His friends asked for some popcorn. Yeah. Teacher Lee, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
one thing we do in America is outside our cubicle, we have our name. So you can walk by the cubicle and see people's names. Here, there's no names. How do you find anyone?
I don't know.
You know?
Gerard? Gerard?
This place, from an architect point of view, is impossible because it's huge, and we don't have pillars to hold the beams, because the roof must be something must support the roof. Not it's impossible to make such a long beams.
Well, my point of view that this office it looks pretty much terrible. I would say, it's probably hard to work there. But at the same time, I used to work in the offices much terrible than this. Now is modern to have open space. It's the same, but without walls. So it's impossible to go there without headset, and many people has very expensive headset with active noise canceling system and many such things like pilots. So I have such headsets on my job because I'm like a pilot. I to break this noise. And another thing,
Horrible.
this cubicle, it's kind of personal. You can put your things there, right? You can attach to them. In offices that I work, it's open space, and moreover, the desk doesn't belong to anyone. You go there, you choose random desk, you sit there, you work, you go
Oh,
away.
wow.
It's just
Oh, that's
I,
terrible. Oh,
I,
man.
I hate this. That's why I hate these MBI managers.
Wow. I mean, the popularity of cubicles is it's modular. You know, you can put 5 there. You hire somebody, okay, put up 3 more walls, boom, now we got 6. You know,
Yeah.
you can let it grow, but after a while it becomes a mess. You know.
Still better than open office, I think. Still better.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I miss something? Nope. Okay, let's go on. Sergey, could you please describe this one?
Yes, there is a laboratory. We can see some printed machines, and we can see a light uh, on the left, and we can see the air conditioner and the red air conditioner or heating system. I don't understand. On the right side, we can see the electronic and electric panel with the module system. For example, if you have some problem with electric machine, you could see the panel, the bad panel, and you could put the new panel. And we used to, in my previous jobs, the similar system. On the center, we can see the old-fashioned monitors, and above the monitors, we can see the printed machine. And free person use free person use the CIP. The special devices for helmets and the special costumes and wizards and masks.
Goggles, not this big glasses, big green glasses.
Yeah,
Goggles.
glasses.
I'd probably call them eye protection,
Protection.
like
Teacher,
safety glasses.
how it's called this complex of safety devices, helmets, glasses,
You mean all together?
and the abbreviation PPE. Yeah, PPE. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it personal protective equipment.
Wow.
Yeah, PPE.
Personal protection equipment. Yeah, we have a general name. It might be gloves and hard hat, safety glasses. Yeah, back support.
Okay.
I think these pictures looks like the atom electric station.
Nuclear station.
Nuclear electric station, but it's my
It looks kind of strange. Yeah. Looks like a nuclear plant a little bit with all these panels.
Yeah.
On the right, these panels, we call those rack mounted. They're in racks that slide out. You can grab the 2 handles and pull the whole thing out, work inside of it, and then push it back in. So those are called rack mounted instrument panels. And they have handles. You can pull it out and push it back in.
Okay, Gerard, can I ask you? Do you know what is Easter eggs?
Easter eggs, yes.
I think we have an example of Easter eggs, and I want to show you. That's why I like this slide so much.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Vasant, is a perfect slide. So thank you so much. When I watched this, I decided that we must have this slide.
That's why I say some movies become classic, and you'll see references to them. So you miss that unless you know these classic movies. You look at that, and you get a smile on your face. You know, like, oh, I know what that means. You know. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that.
Actually, I forgot the name of this movie about Gort. What was the name?
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yes, the day. So, Vova, it's for you. You probably have not watched this movie. So, there was a movie with a big, like a robot or alien. It was a robot, actually. And these words that's written on the wall, Gort, Klatu, Barata, Nikto. It was like a magic words. You say that to robot, and robot like stopped, not damage everyone, save the world. Yeah. So we have a what we call Easter egg in this movie. we know that master program will be stopped somehow.
Now, that movie is an example of a benevolent AI, if you will.
Mhm.
Their job was to maintain the peace. And they were
Yeah.
objective. Anyone that made trouble,
Yeah, it was a
gone.
nice movie. Yeah. I have to watch it with my boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
to know it.
Uh,
Yeah, and from this point of view, we can see like more personal things in these cubicles and some shelves and I don't know some almost a kitchen or what is this? It kind of looks like a utensils, kitchen utensils to me. This maybe a kettle or something. I don't
I
know.
think I see some VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a slide carousel or what that circular thing is. Do you remember slide carousels? We used to put little slides in a round thing and it would rotate. A slide projector.
Yep, I
Yeah.
think so. Okay,
Old technology. Yeah.
yeah, let's do the last one for today. Time fly. Vova, what can you see here?
Mm, I can see a lot of play machine.
Yeah, it's kind of a game. How we call it? Automate machine. I don't know. What is the name actually for this?
We call this an arcade room,
Mm-hmm.
and we call these arcade games.
And this box, how we call it? A machine.
We call those arcade machines.
Arcade machines. And when it's just has a leverage to pull for money, how we call it?
A slot machine.
Slot machine. Okay.
So I'm not sure why, but arcades usually have arcade machines, which are usually large, but basically it's a computer, console, but it's in a big, a person-sized device almost, and I don't know why they design them that way, but maybe because in the beginning the technology was so old, that was how
Yeah.
big the memory was, We
Yeah.
still have these in the U.S., but very, very rare. I don't see them much anymore.
I don't think we have them.
Yeah.
Not sure. Yeah, Gerard, please.
You remember in the 80s, the, arcade machines were much more powerful than video consoles.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nowadays, the video consoles are so powerful, yeah, even more powerful than the arcade machine. So most video arcades has disappeared.
Yeah, the one I used to like the most was sometimes they'd have a simulator. You'd sit in a chair, a seat, and it
Yeah.
would tilt and you could shoot, like you're flying a plane, but the seat would kind of be like 3D. It was pretty cool. That was the first virtual reality kind of game. I used to enjoy those.
Yeah, we still have them. We call them 4D or something because it rotates with you when you fly, and sometimes it has like a fan to make air in your face or something. Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty fancy. We didn't have that. Yeah.
So a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking on this picture, I regret about old before COVID times. Right, Sergey? So many people in one place.
It's very dangerous.
Without
Yeah.
masks.
No mask. So, Space Force, yeah, Space Force or something. I can read three zone. I don't know what does it mean. Space, yeah,
No idea what these games are.
yeah. We have
Yeah.
a lot of slides, but no time anymore. And for some, thank you very much for Barata Nikto. It was so
Cool.
so good. Yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed a bit movie and our conversation. And see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.